Quantrill, the 2-1 pitch, and Reynolds with a one-hopper. Oh, and a diving stop by Lindor. And the throw to first. Got him.
You know what that Francisco Lindor play signifies? That was the final web gem of the 2020 Major League Baseball season. We did it. We made it to the end. I thought that Miss Rona, however she wants to go by, was going to destroy the 2020 baseball season because the Marlins had an outbreak, then the Cardinals had an outbreak. They had to play 60 games in 4 days, it seemed like. We made it till the end, and I need you guys to smash the like button. Let's try and get 5,000 likes because we've made it, but we're not done yet. We're going to do some playoff recaps. We're going to talk about the season leaders today. We're going to talk about who is playing who, and if you want to see a playoff prediction video out later today, 5,000 likes, and we'll do that. Without further ado, for the final time of the regular season MLB recaps, let's start talking baseball. But real quick, let's address the leaders and statistics across the league. The batting average leader, DJ LeMahieu, was the #1 guy at 364, so no one hit 400. We'll go ahead and get that out the way first and foremost. Luke Voit hit 22 bombs. He carried the Yankees on his back this year. Jose Abreu erupted for 60 RBIs in 60 games. Adalberto Mondesi had 24 stolen bases, and then Freddie Freeman, he led everyone with 51 runs. If we go to the pitching side, it's going to be dominated by the Indians. I'm not being a fanboy. These are just the stats and the facts. Brad Hand was your #1 leader in saves. Shane Bieber takes the Triple Crown home. If you don't know what that means, he was #1 in ERA, wins, and strikeouts. So you can see that right here. Kenta Maeda had a very strong season, a .75 whip. That is incredible, if I'm being honest with you. And then Yu Darvish in the National League actually tied Shane Bieber with 8 wins. So there are the league leaders. Now let's talk about the standings. Actually, real quick, I do want to showcase 2 different games because we might have seen the catch of the year in each of them. We have the Orioles versus the Blue Jays, and then we have the Red Sox versus the Braves. We're going to show the highlights as well as the catch, and then you have to let me know whose was better.
Fly in the 0-1. A curveball hit high in the air down the right field line to the corner. Jonathan Davis is on the run, and that ball is leaping at the wall, and Davis caught it! Was that ever something? A highlight reel.
Popped up into center field. I say popped up. It's hit very well. Back on it, Bradley at the wall. He leaps and makes the catch. Crashing into the 400 marker. Vintage Jackie Bradley in what may well be his final game with the
Jonathan Davis makes an insane play at the wall as the Jays actually lose to the Orioles. So what's going to happen with the Jays? They will now play the #1 team in the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays have a 21-9 record against teams above 500 this year. That is incredible. So the Rays are going to be super tough to beat. And then on the flip side, the Braves do lose to the Red Sox as Jackie Bradley Jr. most likely ends his tenure with the Red Sox. Just a really good, solid career as a Boston Red Sox. He's probably going to go to another team. That's just my opinion. With that loss, the Braves will play the Reds in the first round of the National League. What is it, the Wild Card Series? Just the first round? What is it called? Now, speaking of the Reds, we're going to go ahead and talk about them real quick because look how many players they had to use yesterday. Almost 47 hitters. I mean, that's what it seemed like. Either way, they cap off a great last 3 weeks. A win over the Twins, and now the Twins will have to face the Astros in round #1. So far, we have the Blue Jays facing the Rays, we have the Braves facing the Reds, and we have the Twins facing the Astros. So we all know that the Reds had a pretty good game yesterday. They capped off a great season. We all expected them to be a whole lot better. They squeak in. They just barely get past the other teams, thankfully, because they were my dark horse team to make the World Series. Now, speaking of the Astros, they got bailed out. That's all I want to say. Jose Altuve was awful this year. He had a -0.8 WAR and a .219 batting average. He got exposed as well as the Astros. Now, I do have to say a little asterisk, no pun intended, an asterisk next to the Astros. They lost Justin Verlander. Garrett Cole left in free agency. A bunch of different guys weren't the same as they were last year. Maybe that was because of the pressure of everyone hating them. Who knows? But they got exposed yesterday against the Rangers. They got smacked around as they fall to 29-31. They will be making the playoffs 2 games below 500. That's just sad in my opinion.
Santana, nobody out. In the air. Line drive, right field. That is going to get down, and that's going to go to the wall. The Indians take the lead.
Better.
Right field. Long run for Luplow. He makes the catch, and that'll do it.
Garrett Cole versus Shane Bieber, game 1. That is going to be a pitching matchup for the ages. I will not miss a single second of that game. And I know that you all have favorite teams out there, but try and have the Indians-Yankees game on the side, because Bieber-Cole, this might not happen again. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I mean, the Indians are pretty good and young, and the Yankees are pretty good with a good future. It might. And then if we talk about the White Sox game, they have to win. And obviously, I kind of already spoiled it. They did not. They tried to make the comeback. They were not able to do it, but they choke a 2 spot in the American League Central. So it was supposed to be the Indians at the Twins, and I'm more comfortable facing the Yankees. We'll talk about that in my predictions video if this video gets 5,000 likes. But yeah, the White Sox are now 2-8 in their last 10 games. That is not preferred. So the White Sox will be playing the A's in the first round. So since we're talking about the A's, let's go ahead and talk about them yesterday. So because the A's won yesterday and the White Sox lost, that flip-flopped the standings a little bit. It was supposed to be the Astros versus the A's. Mike Fires, the snitch, versus the Astros, the team that he snitched on. I'm putting snitched in this because it had to happen. I'm glad that he did it, because the Astros, they needed to get exposed. But unfortunately, we do not get that matchup. The M's, they lost yesterday, and Frankie Montas was an absolute beast, as well as Mark Canha. I mean, Frankie Montas, 6 innings, 13 Ks? That guy can be a weapon in the postseason. Marlins went an entire decade without a winning season, and yesterday's win over the New York Yankees, led by Jazz Chisholm, my boy. We follow each other. He's a huge MLB The Show fan. He's a really awesome guy. If you have not followed him on social media, I promise you it would not be a bad decision. The Yankees got dominated by Daniel Castano. He throws 6 1/3 shutout innings. So I want Yankees fans to please be honest in the comment section down below. And so far on Twitter, I have to tip my cap. Yankees fans have been very cordial and respectful, and saying that the Indian staff, led by Bieber, Carrasco, Plesac, and Savali as a number 4, it's pretty scary. So as an Indians fan, I'm anxious, but I'm also excited. If you're a Yankees fan, let me know how you feel. Come on, Giants. All you have to do is win this game. Do it for Hunter Pence. He is out in McCovey Cove on a boat. He is cheering on the squad. All you have to do is win one game. Do it.
And he hits a high blast to left and gone. Hit well to left. This one's going to hurt if it's a fair ball.
That is strike 3. 100 miles an hour and strike 3 for Rosenthal. Strikes out the side.
And yeah, they didn't do it. So Drew Smyly tried his best. He K'd up 10 different Padres in just 5 innings, but the Padres offense and Trevor Rosenthal, they're just far too potent. So the Padres will be playing the Cardinals. Now, speaking of the Cardinals, 3 different teams had to win one game yesterday. We talked about it 24 hours ago. The Brewers, the Giants, and the Phillies all had to win a game. Now, spoiler alert, they all lost. So the Brewers they won by proxy because the other teams lost. Paul Goldschmidt went 3 for 4. Harrison Bader turned into Mark McGwire for a day. Just an absolute embarrassment as I'm showing the Phillies game right now. I mean, come on. Really, the Astros are in with a sub-500 record. The Brewers got in because the Giants and the Phillies choked. I mean, unlucky for the Phillies that the schedule lined up, that they were facing the best team in the American League to end the season. But to me, the Brewers, the Phillies, the Giants, all must-win games. They go 0 for 3. That is sad, and honestly, I don't think the expanded playoffs are going to come back in 2021. I mean, this is just embarrassing. Now, the final game I really want to talk about in depth, we have the Dodgers taking care of the Angels in a season finale. So they will be playing the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm trying to look at it objectively. The Dodgers, in every single way imaginable, maybe aside from the bullpen, have the advantage. Josh Hader is better than Kenley Jansen. I would say that Devin Williams is better than Blake Treinen and Jake McGee. But the Dodgers pitching staff, their offense, their defense, it's all better than the Brewers. So I wanted to bring that up. So the final matchups for the playoffs, we'll talk about my predictions later on. We have the Rays facing the Blue Jays. The Yankees will be playing the Indians. We have the Twins facing the Astros. The A's at the White Sox. That will be the final matchup in the American League. Now, moving over to the NL, we have the Dodgers at the Brewers. We just talked about that. The Cubs will be facing the Miami Marlins. The Padres will be facing the Cardinals. I skipped them, my bad. And then, like I said at the beginning of the video, the Braves will be facing the Reds. This is going to be fun. I think Wednesday we have baseball from noon to midnight. That's going to be crazy. Now, the final thing that we have to do is Fast Cast with Fuzzy, talk about the rest of the games that happened yesterday that had zero significance. The Tigers at the Royals, Brady Singer and Mondesi, they send out Alex Gordon on a high note. They defeat the Tigers 3-1. Mondesi exploded in September with 6 home runs, 16 stolen bases, and a 1075 OPS. Juan Soto becomes the youngest player ever to win a batting title as Trey Turner drives in a career-high 7 RBIs. Soto, at 21 years old, might be the best hitter in all of baseball. And then last but not least, Madison Bumgarner picks up his first win for the Diamondbacks in a pretty easy 3-1 victory over the Rockies. And Ketel Marte drives in 3 RBIs. He was unable to replicate 2019. He had a 732 OPS. Let's hope he bounces back in 2021. All right, well, we did it. We have officially made it to the final outro of MLB Recap, at least for the regular season. I will be back for the playoffs. I think tomorrow I'm going to come out with a pretty cool montage of the best moments from the regular season, so stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for watching, and for the last time of the regular season, enjoy this day in MLB history.
Tonight, him pitching from both sides of the plate, although you'd think you'd want to pitch right-handed to Reggie Sanders.
Fouled. Now it's going to kick fair. Siddall out. Nub to the mound. Harris has it. He'll throw to first, and watch the ovation. Greg Harris gets